Good morning, everyone. If I could have you take your seats. Before we get started, I wanted to share just a little bit, some exciting news about NIDO. A little more than a week ago, NIDO welcomed First Global Chile, Team Chile, to the NIDO Maker Lab, the Maker Space, to let them work on their robot, explore, work together. They are traveling to Athens the week after 18 break to represent Chile in an international robotics competition called First Global. So it's very exciting, very special opportunity. And Senior Gabby Urzua, let's hear it for Gabby. Gabby was selected to be part of this team and will be traveling as part of the team. So what I'd like you to do, number one, if you want to follow along in the action to learn what the team is up to and learn out more about them and how you might even support them, you can follow at First Global Chile on Instagram. Second, if you see Gabby in the hall on campus, wish her good luck. It's a very exciting opportunity to have NIDO and Chile on the world stage for something very exciting. So, without further ado, I would like everybody to rise for the national anthem.
Good morning, everybody. Today we're here to share some insights about the work we began last semester at the School in the History of Heritage Club. Padma Humada, Antonio Orellanas, and me, Mora Ortiz, will be your guides on this journey.
Each generation creates its own sense of the past. Do we have a past at Nido? Today we want to share with you some of what we have learned and discovered while attempting to reconstruct 90 years of history, understanding that Nido has become a place of belonging for everyone who studies, works, and contributes to the school. We invite you on a journey into the past, where we will explore how Nido's history has been shaped and developed alongside Chilean and global processes. To start, we have a video that is part of a documentary we created.
Somos un grupo de estudiantes de 12th grade, o en Chile, el país donde estamos, se diría de cuarto año medio. Pero decimos 12th grade porque nuestra institución, el International School Nido de Águilas, está en Chile, pero al mismo tiempo cuando entras y lo conoces, te darás cuenta que no es un colegio tan exclusivamente chileno.
My name is Joni and I'm from Canada.
Hola, mi nombre es Andrés y soy de México.
Hola, soy Anika, soy Chile.
Baltasar Salamé, Chile.
Gaetano Ferrando, Francia.
Hola, yo me llamo Ignacia
Yo soy Raimundo.
y ambos vamos al nido de águilas y somos chilenas.
Hola, mi nombre es Joaquín, yo soy de Perú.
Karen, Chile. Lucía, US.
Mi nombre es Martín Petrinovich y soy chileno.
Hola, soy Matías y soy de Chile, Colombia.
Monse, Chile.
Murilo Schumacher, Brasil. Hola, yo me llamo Nico, soy de Estados Unidos.
Rihanna y Chile.
Hi, my name is Riz. I'm from the Netherlands.
Hola, mi nombre es Samantha y soy de Venezuela.
Sara, italiana.
Benjamín Chilcruz, Chile.
Hola, soy Valentina y nací en Estados Unidos, pero tengo nacionalidad chilena y boliviana.
Hola, mi nombre es Valentina, soy de Chile, mi familia es de Venezuela.
Hola, soy Colomba, yo soy de Chile, tengo familia en Italia.
Hola, soy Tomás Vergara, soy de Argentina y Chile.
Okay, so this is Jasmine.
And this is Esther. She's Chinese. And she's from Korea.
Jitsu, Chile y Taiwan. So, as you might have been able to see, we have had the chance and opportunity to speak with a lot of you, students, teachers, staff, administrators, and there is still so much more to be done today. But, today we will be sharing some interesting discoveries that we've made thus far. So, to start, our founder, Waldo Stevenson, was born in the United States in 1892. And in 1927, while living in Chile, he met Juanita Keller and at a school in Santiago. But by 1931, Waldo was a close friend of Luis Arrieta, who owned many lands in what is now known as Peñalolén. Waldo asked Arrieta to build a cabin so he could use it when trekking or hiking in Peñalolén, in the Peñalolén Ravine. 3 years later, Arrieta authorized Mr. Stevenson to build the school in the same area. And that's where everything begins. Okay, so starting.
Entonces, era un colegio inclusivo, el año el peo. O sea, estamos hablando, yo nací el año 55, esto debe haber sido el año, porque yo era chica, o sea, 4 años.
60, claro. 60,
59, por ahí. Entonces era un colegio muy alternativo, que mis papás lo eligieron por el inglés.
Okay, so starting in 1949, the school moved to La Reina, more specifically to La Reina Victoria Street, as the number of students continued to grow. So in 1950, the first formal contract was made with the U.S. Embassy in the context of the Cold War. The United States was increasing its presence in Latin America and sought a school that could accommodate the children of the embassy staff. So this led to the establishment of the Nido de Águilas Educational Foundation, as we know now, and this was in 1959, with a land donations and financial assistance from the U.S. government.
In the mid-20th century, the world experienced rapid and significant changes affecting people's lives. Today, we want to present some findings that have caught our attention, impacted us, and even made us laugh. Your books, as a window into past memories and our recollections, have been our most important source for what we are about to show you.
And as time went on,
With the school now established in La Barnechea, where we are right now, we began to see the presence of students from various parts of the world, as most of you probably already know. We also discovered interesting details about who came to work at Nido. In 1967, 16 students graduated from Nido, and the yearbook already featured notable teachers, such as Mr. Rodolfo Franco, whom some of you might have met, a literature teacher, and Mr. Luis Zavala, a science teacher, as well as the Chilean and American students.
And also by 1967, there were already numerous clubs. There were the theater club, the press club, folklore, yearbook club, and even the stucco.
Did you know that the school had a headmaster who was a pilot in World War II and fought against Germany? Robert Sequist, who came to serve as the school headmaster, was a doctor of education who, during World War II, was a fighter pilot and was captured by the Germans.
Now, another interesting finding we had was that as the years go by, advertising emerges as an example of historical processes. Taking place, the El Teniente mine published paid advertisements in the yearbook for 2 consecutive years. Can you imagine that? This copper mine, which was owned by the American capital, would become one of the mines exported under the copper nationalization law during Salvador Allende's government in 1971. Also, the Bank of America and General Motors also appear in the yearbooks of the 70s, reflecting the presence of American companies both at our school and in Chile during that time.
And take a look at this 1971 photo of Braniff, a well-known American airline in the 70s and 80s, and it's featuring an advertisement with Nido students traveling in one of their planes. So also note the advertisement on the right side, Cable West Coast Telegraph Service. In those years, long-distance telecommunications were through cable and satellite. Below that, you can see Miss Magda B. Hart promoting her pedicure services in downtown Santiago.
The national and global context is reflected in these images. In the 1970 yearbook, Nido showcases the moon landing, a key milestone in the space race between the Soviet Union and the USA, featuring this drawing. The eagle landed here.
Later, in 1972, Chilean social mobilization and global events reflected in these 2 ads. One of a committee of peace calling for an end to various conflicts, such as the Vietnam War and the Attica prison uprising and political religious conflicts in Northern Ireland. To the right of this ad, which honestly surprised us quite a lot, we are able to see that Nido students, that we see an ad that is of Nido students that invites to join a political religious movement called the Alpha and Omega. And for my history people, you probably know what that is. We researched and found it to be a countercultural, religious, and hippie movement. Can you imagine today a political religious group paying to appear in the yearbook? Honestly, seems hard to believe for today's society. Both ads illustrate how Nido engages in national and international processes. They reflect the desires for change and a more supportive or committed society, as seen in the headmaster's message in 1971. Be ready for this. Most of the students enrolled in Nido today can expect to live at least half of their life in 21st century. What will the challenges and opportunities be of that time be? Will the age of Aquarius really be more peaceful and tranquil? Maybe, but I expect that this will depend more upon the quality of thinking that goes into the solution of problems than it will upon the position of the stars. Keep that in mind.
Okay, so it was in 1973 where Chile experienced the coup d'etat and the start of the military regime, so it's el golpe de Estado, that we see the impact of censorship. So we present here as evidence the military decree number 15, and this refers to the censorship. and in this year, Nido did not publish a yearbook. And this is because, according to information we gathered from the year's generation, it was very difficult to print a yearbook due to the severe restrictions that began to affect printing presses and media outlets.
In 1976, we found two notable elements. First, there are 2 pages highlighting the beauty of Chile, primarily its natural landscape, which aligns with the dictatorship's attempt to impose a nationalist and traditional view of Chile's history. Additionally, we have marked with a red circle a photo from the same year's graduation, where a white hat is visible. We suspect this could indicate the presence of a military personnel, which was common as they will attend important students' event in Chile.
But in 1985, we were initially very shocked and confused by the existence of a supposed ugly women's club. Yeah, keep that in mind. But later we did understand that it was a form of critique and irony from the Nido students regarding the cultural context of the time. Madonna and Cyndi Lauper were the main artists in those years. So the club statement here is that the club came about due to the excessive number of ugly women at Nido, and it is time that they got together to show their spirit and solidarity and their ugliness as an ironic commentary on the pressure placed on women to always be beautiful, well-groomed, and to display a more superficial side.
So, as we enter to the 1990s, Chile's transition to democracy and its political and economic opening led to significant growth in the number of students at the school. Over these decades, Nido has evolved into a distinctly multicultural school where Americans and Chilean roots have given way to space with various nationalities, beliefs, and worldviews are accepted and valued.
As a demonstration of this, we want to share a bit about the history of the mural at the entrance of the school. This mural was created by Francisco Letelier, who was supposed to graduate from the school in 1976. Francisco was the son of Orlando Letelier, a Chilean politician, diplomat, and economist who moved to Washington in 1975 due to his work. In 1976, Orlando Letelier was assassinated in Washington by the DINA, the secret police of the Chilean dictatorship. Francisco is now an international recognized artist, and in 2019, he gifted this mural titled Amigos, to Nido. The mural features 4 adult human figures, all friends, embracing each other and looking towards the horizon and the La Dehesa Valley.
Okay, I know for some of you this might be boring, but finally, we looked at the year 2010, when our country experienced a very, very big earthquake that claimed the lives of hundreds of people. If you weren't there, you probably don't know, but that happened. And Nido became directly involved with helping and working with various communities around the country. And this year also marks the beginning of the senior class that joined the school and is graduating this year.
Good morning, everyone. This year, we celebrate 90 years of Nido de Águilas, 90 years of stories, memories, and growth. But today, we also celebrate something even bigger, 214 years of Chile as a republic, the country that has nurtured Nido's community for the past 9 decades. Today, we also celebrate all of you, our high school community, and the incredible journey some of you have shared over the past 14 years. For me, having been part of this community for the last 12 years, today's celebration feels deeply personal. The last 14 years have brought changes to Chile, the world, and right here at Nido. The amazing thing is that you, each of you, are part of this story. You've collected memories that are now part of our shared history. It's fascinating how history runs in parallel. While we are here on the hills of Lo Barnechea, we are also part of a larger valley, Santiago, and part of a bigger land, Chile. For example, during these 14 years within our own hills, we've seen different headmasters. Mr. Bergman, Mr. Maurer, Mr. Perry, and now Mr. Kunin. Chile, too, has seen changes in leadership, with Presidents Piñera, Bachelet, Piñera again, and today, President Boric. In these 14 years, we've lived through moments that have transformed both our country and our school. Remember 2011? Maybe not too clearly, but that year, Chile's students' protest sparked a national conversation about the right to education. Many of you were too young to fully understand it then, but the way people stood for what they believed in has become part of what we are as Chilenos today. It has shaped the way you feel about education, the way you conceive it as a human right. Then, in 2019, we witnessed the social uprising, el estallido social, a movement that demanded justice, equality, and dignity for all in Chile. These events were not just political headlines, they were moments of living history, reminders of what we stand for and fight for. You saw it happen. Some of you probably talked about it with your families, friends, or even in class. Many of you have grown to understand the importance of standing up for what truly matters. It's not just politics. What you learned from that event will stay with you as you move forward to become the protagonists of the world beyond these hills. And then, of course, came the pandemic. The world came to a standstill, but you didn't. You adapted to online learning, faced uncertainty, and came out stronger. It wasn't easy, but you persevered. And that's what we do with history. We learn from it and grow. We carry lessons forward. Chile, this beautiful country that has been home to our school for 90 years, has given us space to learn, to share, and to grow. We are all part of a larger story, one that Chile tells to the world. And I want you to understand that you are not just learning about history, you are part of it. Every single one of you, individually and collectively, is a subject of both Chilean and Nido history. As you walk these hills, sit in these classrooms, and look out at the hills that surround us, you are living and writing history every single day. The experiences you've had, whether through social movements, global crises, or simply everyday school life, are part of a much bigger story, a story that belongs not only to Chile, but to the world. Nido has evolved over the years from being a mostly expat school on the top of the Barnechea Hills, almost unreachable, to becoming a truly diverse community that embraces Chilean culture while maintaining its international perspective. Over the past decade, Chile has seen immigration, both as a challenge and an opportunity. This has transformed and redefined who we are as a country, rebuilding our symbols and enriching our Chilean roots. Today, it's more important than ever to reflect on what defines our nation, a nation made up not just of Chilenos, but of all who call this place home. Every class here at Nido reflects these changes. You are the generation that has witnessed both worlds. You've watched Chile evolve, and you've grown up in an international environment that has connected you to the rest of the world. That's what makes history today, and it makes your role even more special. You are part of Chile's story, but you're also part of a global one. You've become global citizens, and with that comes great responsibility. What connects us all is memory. Historical memory, collective memory, is what binds us together. It's how we understand who we are and where we come from. Through this understanding, we build our own identity, both as individuals and as a community. Nido, it's not just a school, it's a place where we come together, where we belong. And that sense of belonging is what makes this community so strong, so unforgettable in the eyes of history. As we look back on these last 14 years, I want you to remember that you are part of something much bigger. Every experience, every challenge, every triumph you've been through has contributed to Nido's story and Chile's. You are part of the legacy we are building here, and your story will live on this school long after you've left, for the next 90 years and beyond. Today, we celebrate memory. Let's honor the past. Never forget what brought us here. We are all Nido memory keepers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Borel, for your nice words.
¿Lo presento así nomás? Sí.
Esto nos hace preguntarnos, ¿qué valores considera Nido que son relevantes a la escuela?
Respeto.
Diversidad.
Integrativo. Internacional.
Community.
Which is positivity.
De pertenencia.
Único.
Único.
Apoyo.
Amistad.
Engaging.
Respect.
El respeto.
Comunidad. Divertido.
La amabilidad.
Auténtico.
Inclusivo.
So, with this, we would like to conclude by inviting you, seniors, to reflect on what you will carry away in your memories of Nido. What experiences have shaped you, and helped you become who you are today?
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the rest of assembly.
And now, let's welcome la Miss María Paz to give us some insights about Cueca.
Thank you. La Cueca, by Alejandro, a popular poet from Santiago. La cueca ya va a empezar, se oye rasguear la vihuela y tintinear las espuelas de un guaso que va a bailar. Va su pareja a buscar, que es alegre y espigada, y de su brazo tomada empieza el alegre paseo. Y se oye el repiqueteo del tamboreo y palmadas. The cueca, also known as chilena or marinera, in other countries of America, is a dance with Arab Andalusian roots. Carlos Vega, a key figure in the study of cueca, suggested that it originated from the samba cueca, a Peruvian dance derived from the samba, influenced by African and Creole elements, which arrived in Chile in the 19th century, specifically around 1824. Acquiring its unique characteristics. This same dance later returned to Peru around 1860, where it became known as cueca chilena or simply chilena, a term that was abolished after the Pacific War to be called marinera. It also spread to neighboring countries, Bolivia and Argentina. By the 19th century, cueca was well known across much of the national territory, with its own characteristics and original melodies, being performed and danced in both aristocratic saloons and popular gathering places. I have the honor to introduce today the Balmaceda School from Peñaflor, accompanied by their teacher, Fabián Coser, and their student and dancer. I will present this part in Spanish. Cristóbal Ríos y Emilia Dinamarca, estudiantes de cuarto medio C, son destacados representantes del grupo folclórico del Colegio Balmaceda. Destacándose año a año en las distintas zonas folclóricas de nuestro país. Daniela Miranda, de segundo medio B, es campeona regional, Espiga de Ancud, zona sur. José Soto, del tercero medio B, es un activo participante en competencias y ha obtenido el segundo lugar juvenil en Paine y en Punta Arenas. Y este reciente sábado obtuvo el tercer lugar en Jóvenes del Bicentenario. Su profesor, Fabián Coser, quien dirige a este grupo de estudiantes, ha estado encargado 7 años de las presentaciones folclóricas del Colegio Balmaceda Peñaflor. They will present a cueca dance with live music by Try M. Let's give them a warm round of applause.
Ahora sí que sí.
we're gonna do one more. We're gonna play one more. They're gonna dance two more cuecas. And I just wanna give you a little advice of what you should be looking at when you look at cueca like this. They are very good. They're really, really good at what they do. So, a few things. For example, like the girl should never have both feet in the air at the same time. That's very specific. So you keep looking at that, and you see if that happens. And you can just raise your hand and say, oh, mistake. And the boy, well, there are very specific moments that the boy is going to shine. In the zapateo, for example, he starts doing all these very fancy movements and steps, and that's tricky. That's very tricky, especially if you're using espuelas. If you're wearing espuelas, it makes it even harder. So I hope we can all appreciate this moment. This is our national dance. It's not the only dance we have in Chile. We have many more. But this is our national dance, and they're really, really good at what they're doing. So one more applause, please.
Adoquines, muertos de frío, se tiritan los cuernos, caramba, en los inviernos.
We're gonna dance one more cueca. We didn't have time to learn one more, sorry. This one's gonna be from Spotify. Yes, Claudio?
olvidarte, negro del alma. Hoy queme tu retrato, para no extrañarte me voy, me voy. Ándate, vamos, Maire, llamo tu Maire, negro del alma.
Ya estamos, aquí está el verso al tiro nomás. Hay una cueca famosa que ha hecho vibrar la patria. Es linda y habla de amor. La escribió don Jaime Atria.
Esa es la gran consentida, porque siempre ha sido así. Y si me dice que bueno, yo la canto en Longaví.
Y la echamos con la consentida para Longaví. A Longaví, para la otra. Ya lo
Thank you very much for everybody for coming. Bye.